Why, hello. If you're new here, and maybe if you're not, then you probably already know what time it is. I make a lot of art and book related videos. Today I'm here with a very similar video. I'm here with a video about my TBR. I'm also here to talk about my consumption addiction. Ugh. Um, so 2 weeks ago I bought like $170 worth of books. Um, and this week I proceeded to spend $180. Not 100. I spent $80 on books, but I did spend over almost $200 shopping. That's got me thinking, damn, maybe I do have a bit of a spending problem. Um, Maybe spending addiction. Addiction is something that I've struggled with in many different forms and manners for a while. So yes, it makes sense that I am reckless and loose with my money. But I'm really trying not to be, especially in the state of capitalism we're at. And so I've decided not fully gonna put myself on a ban of books, but gonna limit myself to a book per month if I'm gonna buy one. I cannot currently afford to buy more than one. Like, I need to chill out. And I also thought I'd just make a video showing you all the books I have in my TBR. Whether I read them, whether I bought them or like was gifted them. And I'm gonna also pick what books I'm gonna read for my April TBR because although I have all these books and I just keep buying all these books, I can never pick what book I'm gonna read next. Currently, I'm reading 3 books, which is like why are you making TBR read if you're making 3 books? But I'm not very well versed. But let me explain, okay? Long story short. So one of the books I'm reading is for a video. That's Percy Jackson, which I'm hopefully gonna finish that video soon. Finish filming those videos soon. The next book I'm reading is The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. Just started it, but didn't realize it was 500 pages. And also, her books take me a little longer to read because when I read them, I have to really sit there and think. They're like, you have to sit and think with you sit and process your thoughts because they are like extremely like detailed and educational. They honestly, I just need to sit there and like gauge and like sit there in awe of how wonderful her writing is, and I'm just like in shock of what she's written. She's crazy, okay? So whenever I read her books, I take more care and precision with reading them. I can't like, read them really fast is something I usually like to do. I don't know. So I also may want to read another book alongside that. Also, I may finish it. And also, I usually just end up reading 2 books at a time. Also, the third book I'm reading, I'm not really quite reading it. I'm listening to it on audiobook. Um, and I only listen to it when I'm like drawing or like doing something on my computer or like on the bus or working. Um, in situations where I couldn't be reading a physical book, even though I own the physical copy. But I haven't heard the best things about the books. So I'm like, do I want to put myself through the experience of reading that, or I could listen to the audiobook that I have for free as well. So I was like, okay, audiobook. So listen to that as an audiobook. Um, yeah, those are the 3 books that I'm currently reading. So I'm gonna pick my next reads for when I'm either done one of those or if I just like kind of want to branch into another book. Sorry if I sound deadly. That's because I'm currently suffering from a cold. I just got over a chest infection. Um, and now I've got a head cold. So how lovely. How lovely, y'all. Someone is out there praying on my downfall. I also have to go to the doctor's by the end of this week because there's something going on with my GI tract and I don't want to talk about it. But yeah. Anyways, don't you just love having chronic illnesses? Hate my life. Oh my gosh. Yapaholic out here. Yeah, I'm gonna go through all the books that I have on my shelf. Gonna read them out to you, and then I'm gonna make a TBR jar, and I'm gonna pick my April reads and my next reads. Um, and I'm probably gonna read them in order of the pick, but I may also just play around. So I'm gonna pick about 5 or 6 books because that's usually about how many I read per month. Um, but I'm gonna show you some of the books I have here that I took off my shelf to show you that I have and that I've had for a while, and we'll talk about them. And my severe problem. So, okay, so the first book we have here is In Amor 10. I don't know how to properly pronounce it, but In Amortentia. Amortentia? I don't know. It's Ava Reed's newest book. I just read in February. I just read The Wolf in the Woodsman by Ava Reed, and it like blew my mind, right? And I've fallen like desperately in love with her writing style and just everything about her her works. So I'm like, when I saw this book that just came out at the store, I was like, I have to kind of get it. It was also 20% off, and I also have a points card for the bookstore, and they were like, "Do you want to redeem $5?" And I was like, "Hell yeah, only $5." Brought my order down from 90 to 85. But yeah, it is absolutely beautiful. It was a little more expensive because A, hardcover, and B, special edition. And then look at the beautiful end papers. Toxic, dark fantasy, delectable. So that one I just got. Oh my goodness. And then next on my list here, I would put, okay, Loveless. I got this one for my birthday. It was a gift. I just read Solitaire, and I've just been getting really into Alice Oseman's works. So I figured, why not read more? And Loveless is her lesbian story. So I've always really just been interested in reading more Alice Oseman and just reading more lesbian fiction. So I got this, or well, I asked for this for my birthday, and I received. I'm very excited to read more of it. Oh my gosh! Also, there's finally a release date for Heartstopper Volume 6. I'm so excited. And the cover was released. It's so beautiful. Oh my god, my brother's doing his Trump impression. Okay, next we have this book called Wake Me After the Apocalypse. It's a book that I got from my friend. He was giving away a bunch of books, and I was like, you know what? You know what, twin? I want some of these. And I got like 10 books from them. But basically, there's an apocalypse set to happen, and this girl, everyone goes like in cryo sleep to see if that so that they'll wake up when the apocalypse is like kind of over, like this devastating event is over. And years later, she's the only one to wake up, and so she kind of like is navigating her life through this barren wasteland. I read the book, and I was just like, I read the back, and I was like, okay, you're coming home with me. Okay. Do not remember the order I got these ones in. But we have a few more books that I really want to read here that I have, and that I just saw and bought in a whim. We have Ninth House. I initially bought the second book, Hellbent, first because the cover was amazing and it was cheap. It was $12, and I was like, "You're coming home with me." Um, and then I realized, oh, it's a series, so I had to get the first book. First book, not gonna lie, not as pretty, but there's a third book coming out, guys. What? So we can go and spend more money. What, y'all? What is this? Ooh. Also, I've signed up for NetGalley, so if I get books, I can get them for free. I've read ARCs and stuff before, but not from NetGalley. And so I was like, you know what? Why not? Why don't I join NetGalley? Yeah, and then next I have Mansfield Park. I got this one because it was $5, and also because I made a goal to myself to read all of Jane Austen's work. And this was the only one of her books that I did not have. And the cover was really cute and simple, so I was like, I love it. And this publishing house makes really cheap books, so I'm like, especially really cheap classics. So I'm always, whenever they have a really good cover, I'm like, thank you. And then we have The Edible Woman by Margaret Atwood. I thrifted this. It's ever since I learned of this book, I've wanted it for a while, but was poor. So then one day I was out at the thrift store and I saw this and it had a really cute cover and I just love the concept of it. It's about consumerism and someone just decides that one day she's gonna stop consuming food, like as a whole. So she stops just eating vegetables one day and then doing things, and she just stops consuming as a whole, and it is a broad take on consumerism, which I think I should just put this one on the top of the list, just because of this whole video. and because of all of this, because like I need to stop consuming. I don't need to stop reading, but I need to stop like going out and buying things and contributing to capitalism when I could be living my own life. Yeah. And then then we have Emma, thrifted as well, because again, want to read all of Jane Austen's works, and I think this was $2 at the thrift store, and it's a smaller version. I low-key really like small books like this, like cause I'll show you the comparison. Like smaller books are cuter, low-key. And then over here we have Legendborn, which isn't a book that I bought. It's a book that I was gifted for Christmas last year, and I told myself that I was gonna read it before 2025 ended, and guess what? I did not. I did not end up reading it before 2025 ended. I pushed it off. Same with The Poppy War. That one I wanted to start reading. My initial goal was to read that book in October. Depression, y'all. A lot of things happened. My cats are being weird. They're about to start fighting. Can you just groom each other normally? Not groom. They're cleaning each other. Their father and daughter, they like to they have the cutest little cleaning sessions and they cuddle. Anyways, yeah, I've been waiting for Legendborn for the longest time. I haven't even finished it, and before I even started reading Legendborn, but I had the books, I was like, you know what? I'll go get a special edition of Oathbound. So I have a special edition copy of Oathbound on my shelf, and guess what? I haven't even started the series yet. So it's what's the point? The other day, I bought the book Nona the Ninth because it was $8. Guess what? I don't have the other two books. It's the third book in a series. Yeah. Anyways, Avery has a problem, and we've admitted to that. So now, we're gonna look at the shelf, and we're gonna pick some books to read. Okay, so this is my bookshelf. Don't worry, this is part one of the bookshelf. It continues. These are my comics and some of my graphic novels. Down here we have Hunger Games, Game of Thrones, cassette tapes, blank ones. More comic books and graphic novels, and also not George Tolkien, aka The Lord of the Rings, and then also a poem, also a book of Emily Dickinson's poems. Yeah, and then also I have another shelf. Let me show you. And then I also have this shelf. The shelf is literally just full of books that I have not read yet, and then also my current reading, because I use this table as my nightstand. And then these are all this is just miscellaneous. I feel like books that, because my book shelf is kind of genreified, so these are just books that don't have genres. Yeah. Okay, so in my little book journal thing here, I have a list of all the books that I have yet to read. There's a little over 45, I believe. So I'm gonna write them all down on separate pieces of paper and then cut it up and put it into a jar. I don't know if you want to care to see that. Okay, guys, I got it all to fit on one page. So now I'm gonna cut up into a bunch of pieces and put it into something. Okay, so I put all those pieces of paper, I cut them up and folded them, and I put them in this cute little book mug. And I'm gonna reach in. I'm gonna pick 5 out. I don't know if I'm gonna read the 5 out aloud or I'm gonna pick them and then, but what should I do? Should I pick it and then tell you, or pick 5 and then tell? I'll pick then tell. I'm just shaking them up, making sure there's a variety and it's all randomly generated. Let's see. Also, I don't know if I'll show you the paper because my handwriting is atrocious. Sometimes I can't even read it. Okay. Ooh, okay. The Picture of Dorian Gray. Okay, that one's a small one, so it should be good. And I love homosexuals, so that should be a beautiful one. Okay. First 5. Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh my gosh. How is that the next one I picked? The next book I picked is In Amoria, or however you pronounce it, the new Ava Reid book. Girl, I ran my hand around their legs multiple times. I tried to make something else, something old. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Book that's been on my shelf for a year, please. Okay. Well, I mean, Picture of Dorian Gray has been there for a while, so. I said I should put it on my list, but I said no, I'll leave it up to chance. The Edible Woman. The universe said, Avery, you have a problem. Putting those 2 books side by side, like pick by pick, sometimes I think the universe truly does speak to me. Okay, 3. This is the 4th one. I'm scared. I don't know if I should do a redraw or not. I drew Game of Thrones. Like, and for me, when going into this, I didn't write every single book in the series, because obviously, why not? And when I start a series, usually have to finish the series. Okay, end the video, I guess, because this is a 5-book series. There's so many more pieces of paper. Ooh, should I save these papers for next month's? Yeah, I should. Okay. You know what? We're gonna reuse, reduce, recycle, because there's so much paper in there. Go in there. Go back in the paper. Go. Okay. What? That's just a blank piece of paper. So I'll put these. They're gonna get crushed though. This is where I keep all my annotation tabs. I also keep a red pen in there. And this bookmark my girlfriend made me. Yeah. I have so many tabs, let me tell you. So that's an incredible pick. So not only will I be having to finish, so once I finish, reading Sea of Monsters, I'm gonna get into this big list. I'm also gonna be trying to finish the Poppy War. Once I finish the Poppy War, I'll get into the Dragon Republic and then the Burning Empire. Yeah. So I will be reading that long series, but again, I do read multiple books at once to stimulate my brain. So this is plenty of books to be reading at once. Can't believe I drew Game of Thrones, y'all. Right as winter ends, spring is coming. Does that mean George is gonna make a new book? No. Oh my gosh. And this is so funny because I just bought the Daenerys skin on Fortnite. Y'all. Yeah. So yeah, that's the end of the video. Mostly because I don't really want to film anymore. And also because I don't want to have a long video, because I've noticed my longer videos don't always get as many views. So yeah, the next time you'll see me will probably, hopefully, be my next Percy Jackson comparison interview. Yeah. I'm very excited for these next reads. They're going to be some very, very interesting and intuitive reads. And I'm very excited to finish reading The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang because, well, I just love R.F. Kuang. She's gotta be probably, no, she is my favorite author. Like, at this point, out of all the books that I've ever read, hers, the way that she just draws me in, it doesn't matter how she writes, but she's just so insane. And I wouldn't say blunt, but she is very straightforward with what she is writing. This is about something gritty. This is about a harsh reality of our world, and we can't just look away and ignore it. This is something that happens. Yeah. That's it for this video, and I hope to see you in my next one. And if you liked this video, maybe consider checking out my other ones. I just did a paper tutorial. in a paint with me and my sister's dog, and I love making all sorts of other videos. So, yeah, hopefully see you in the next one. Bye.